The Apollo 1 pre-flight test took place on January 27th, and its tragedy changes the spacecraft's design forever. Unfortunately, this included the deaths of three incredible and heroic astronauts: Virgil Grissom, Edward White, and Roger Shaffer. Apollo 1 was a tragedy due to a fire that came through the command module during takeoff.
The high-pressure pure oxygen environment fanned the flames, and the crew struggled to get out of the capsule. Flammable foam pads and nylon netting spread to the fire in the cockpit, and the communication was lost. The astronauts explained the smell of the odor as a sour buttermilk, which filled their spacesuits and made it extremely difficult to breathe. I'm Neil Armstrong. I'm 39 years old, and I was the first man to walk on the moon. I was born in Wapakoneta, Ohio, on August 5th. I started my astronaut career in Ohio, and for about 17 years I switched careers between an engineer, test pilot, astronaut, administrator for the NACA and its successor agency. So I guess you could say I'm kind of talented or something like that. I transferred to astronaut status in 1962, and I was assigned as command pilot for the Gemini 8 mission, as some of you may know. It was launched on March 16th of 1966. I performed the first successful docking of two vehicles in space. I received a Bachelor of Science degree in Aeronautical Engineering from Purdue University and a Master's of Science in Aerospace Engineering from the University of Southern California. I hold honorary doctorates from a number of universities, too many to name. Neil Armstrong, signing out.
Hello, my name is Edwin Eugene Aldridge Jr., and I'm 39 years old. I was born January 20th, 1939 in New Jersey. I was the second one to stand on the moon, but I wish I was the first, but I guess it's too late for that. I became an Air Force pilot after I graduated from the Military Academy in West Point, New York. Little fun fact, I flew 66 combat missions during the Korean War. On November 11th, 1966, I joined the James A. Lovell Jr. on the 4-day Gemini 12 flight. I walked 3 times in space, which totaled a record of 5.5 hours, proving that human beings can function effectively in a vacuum of space. I retired from the National Aeronautics and Space Mission in 1971. I became a commandant of the Aerospace Research Pilot School at Edwards Air Force Base in California. In March 1972, I retired from the Air Force to enter into private businesses. Entering into a private business allowed me to enjoy life at a more relaxed rate. In 1988, I legally changed my name to Buzz Aldrin because it was shorter and more cooler. Buzz Aldrin, signing out.
Hi, I'm Michael Collins, and I was born in Rome, Italy on October 31st, 1930. My dad was an Army general, so we were stationed there. Hey there! After the United States entered World War II, my family moved to Washington, D.C., where I attended St. Albans School. During this time, I applied and was accepted to West Point Military Academy in New York. And I decided to follow my father, 2 uncles, brother, and cousin into the armed forces. Oops, didn't see you there. In 1963, I was chosen by NASA to be part of a 3rd group of astronauts. Oh, hey! I made 2 space flights. The first on July 18th, 1966. It was the Gemini 10 mission, and I performed a spacewalk. The second was the Apollo 11 mission on July 20th, 1969. It was the first lunar landing in history. Hey, my wife Patricia and I have 3 children. We live in both Marco Island, Florida, and Avon, North Carolina. This is Michael Collins, signing out.
Apollo 11 blasted off on July 16, 1969. John F. Kennedy's goal as president was to land a human on the moon. Apollo 11 instead landed 2 people on the moon. 4 days later, after July 16th, Armstrong and Aldrin landed on the moon. Collins stayed in orbit and took photos and did experiments. July 20th, Neil Armstrong was the first person to step on the moon. Aldrin was the second, and they both walked the moon for 3 hours. A U.S. flag was left on the moon along with a sign. They collected Earth rocks and bits of the moon. On July 24th, all three returned back to Earth safely.
You may think I'm Michael Collins, but guess what? I'm Mrs. Hudson!